Okay. So, I'm your host, world famous BITHEAD1000, world famous celebrity BITHEAD1000. And now today was a day ruled by destiny. And I say that because some of the best days that I've ever had in my life have been days where nothing was planned and I was completely out of control. When I say out of control, I mean I wasn't controlling my destiny for the day. Somebody else was controlling my destiny. And that's not to get religious or something like that. It's just to say that whatever happened today was completely out of my hands, out of my control. And so, for example, today I went to go down to the auto parts store. I needed new windshield wipers for the car. And right next to the auto parts store is my buddy Steve owns a store, a local store here in town, selling like vintage stuff and just, you know, like really cool and interesting stuff. If you want to check it out, it's NewYorkDefinesMe.com. And you know, a little shameless plug there, but you know, that's my buddy Steve. And I went into the store and I was bullshitting with him for a while. I had something I wanted to give him, and he said to me, he's like, you know, I've been watching your show lately, and you seem like you lost your passion for it, and you're real monotone and whatnot. He's like, the show's going downhill. So, you know, at the end of the day, and you know what, you got to appreciate a friend like that who's willing to be that honest with you, because, you know, a lot of friends aren't willing to, you know, really kind of hit you over the head with a hammer like that, even though you need it. And I said to him, you know, I had to take a swallow and say, you know, you're right. You know, doing this show for a year now, when you first start out with nothing, you know, to find your first video game is like really exciting and enthusiastic. But then when you start working so hard at it and you start, you know, bringing in, you know, a higher volume of inventory, and then, you know, you have sections of the year which you score a lot, and then like around this time of season you don't score so much. So, you know, you're under, you know, a lot of pressure to produce, and, you know, something you get a little bit depressed about it, I guess, and maybe that's coming through in the show. But then again, I'm not going to come on the camera and start razzing everybody and start, you know, telling jokes or something like that. I don't want to be fake about it. I mean, if this is the way I feel, this is the way I feel. But I still feel obligated to get in front of the camera, even when there's no material coming in, to try to put on a show. So he told me about that, and I was like, you know something, you know, this is a new year. Maybe it's time to do something new to, you know, kind of bring that excitement back. So that's what I've been really racking my brain about now. How can I do that? You know, how can I you know, figure out a new plan of action and whatnot to really, you know, kind of light that flame again. So we got to talking and whatnot, and he was like, you want to get a coffee? I had some shit that I had to do for the day, some stupid stuff I had planned, you know, like returning a pair of jeans and just all boring stuff. I had to get an extension from Home Depot, an extension cord. So he just said out of the blue, you want to go down to the thrift stores? Because he hadn't been to a couple thrift stores that I've gone to, so I said, yeah, let's take a ride out to the thrift stores. Why not? It was a beautiful day and whatnot. So, excuse me, I'm getting hot. So we wind up heading out to Unique, and we're looking around and whatnot, and I did find something. But we wind up turning the corners, one of the corners of the aisle, and I hear, hey, BITHEAD1000? And right away, that like sent like a like a tingle right down my spine, because I don't discuss this show with anybody. Not that this is some major show or something like that, but you know, with family and friends, my very close knit circle of friends know about it. So to hear it come from the outside, from somebody I don't even know, it's very shocking to me. And it was a guy, he came up to me, said, "Hey, BITHEAD1000, I'm a big fan of your show." And man, oh man, it was just like, it was like the sense, every sense, like, it was sensory overload. And I'm like, I'm trying to register it, and now you're trying to, uh, to greet somebody and say hello and whatnot, but you're trying to register this all at once. Like, what are the chances? This is like 1 in a billion. This is like winning the lottery. And I was just completely overwhelmed. I mean, the guy introduced himself to me, and I said, you subscribe to the show? And he says, "Yeah, I'm subscribed to the show. I'm ETC Jim." And he goes, "I wrote a couple comments to you, but you never responded." So I'm like, oh, what a fucking douche I am. And he said ETC Jim, and right away, just because of, just all the thoughts that were firing through my head, I didn't recall the name, so I kind of crunched my eyebrows like I was trying to think about it, but I know who he was. When I left with Steve and we were in the parking lot, I said, "I know ETC Jim." So I hope you're watching out there, because I want you to know that I do remember your name, and I do remember seeing your, I don't know your comments exactly, but I do remember seeing your comments down there. And this guy was major league, I don't want to blow up his spot, but this guy's a major league shark. He was telling me about, going down to the thrift stores and some of his strategy and whatnot. And I'm like, and I'm thinking the whole time, I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is what I'm up against? This guy was a real pro. But really fantastic. And I mean, when I met this guy, like, my face is turning red, and, because I don't know, it's kind of overwhelming, and like my hands are getting clammy. So when I said goodbye to him, I kind of gave him the clam hand. So sorry, Jim. Sorry about giving you the clam hand. He must have been like, this guy's fucking disgusting. But I can't tell you what a big thrill that was, to actually meet somebody that recognized me, from the show. I mean, I totally lost my composure. I mean, my face started turning red, and then because I knew my face was turning red, my face turned even redder, and here it is, this ETC Jim, he's cool as a cucumber. But that was a really overwhelming thing for me. So, to be a big hotshot celebrity, that is. So, so that's great, and a big shout out to ETC Jim. Real excited to meet you, and glad you subscribed. Oh, you guys want a double whammy? My friend Steve said to him, he said, how did you find out about his show? And he said he saw it from another show, a girl that hunts the thrift stores. He saw it from her show, and she had said something about my show, and it turns out she's a hot chick. And I think I know who it is. So, go figure. I mean, talk about a really overwhelming day, but a day ruled by destiny. I mean, had certain steps not happened that day between my buddy Steve and whatnot, and my decision to a small extent, I mean, we would have never even have met ETC Jim under those circumstances. So, just, I don't know, I'm rambling on here, but I figured maybe you guys would want to hear about that. So, we went to the thrift stores, and to be honest with you, the shelves were pretty much bare. There wasn't anything spectacular, but in the nature of the one thrift store that I go to, you can walk up to the shelf 1 minute, and then come back 5 minutes later and there's something on the shelf. So me and Steve, when we walked in initially, I immediately go to the video game section, because I start getting this itch, like like, you know, I'm in withdrawals, and I got to immediately go over to the video game section, and there wasn't anything there. So I said, okay, we'll take a walk around, and we took a while because, you know, Steve was new to the store, and when we came back, we found this. And this is something that I've never seen before, but I thought it was pretty neat. And I don't know what it does. Look at this. It's like a little Sega Genesis. Like a little plug and play Sega Genesis. And it has 2 joysticks that are built into the machine. They're 2 joysticks, and they say Street Fighter 2 on them. And they're 2 6-button joysticks. So I'm guessing this is maybe like a Street Fighter 2 plug and play, but maybe there are other. Man, I had a hot dog at the thrift store. Let me give you a little advice: don't buy a hot dog down at the thrift store. It's been repeating on me like mad. All right. So I'm guessing that there are maybe some other titles on here. So that's pretty neat. We're gonna have to plug this thing in and see how it works. It has a DC adapter, 12-volt DC adapter, which it didn't come with, but it also has a battery compartment. And it just so happens that the batteries are dead. So we'll change the batteries and check this out. But we got this for $4.99. And my curiosity wouldn't let me pass it up, so we'll have to check that out. So that's it, guys. So you know, I'm like the Robert De Niro of the thrift stores now. I'm a big time hotshot celebrity, and I'm BITHEAD1000, and I'll see you guys next time.